World's oldest democracy, the United States of America held its presidential elections last year, which became one of the biggest elections in the history of this country. Around 170 million voters casted their vote to choose their president.
Former Vice President Joe Biden managed to defeat Donald Trump by bagging 284 voters in the Electoral College and 56% of the popular American vote in this election.
However, this election was riddled with a lot of conspiracy and controversies, as expected. The states of Nevada, North Carolina, and Georgia specifically took 7 days beyond the election night to count the votes. Why did this happen, you might ask? It is because the postal ballot votes. Due to the pandemic, many people were not able to go on site and vote, because of which large amounts of people voted through postal ballots. Because of this, there was a huge claim by the Republican side, a claim of voter fraud in an election. Why? Because the Republicans were suddenly losing and they were sore losers.
President Donald Trump accused of voter fraud and alleged that states like Nevada and Georgia had favored Joe Biden over him. He took this to another level after filing multiple cases in various courts of the country and appealing for recounting of all votes. After losing all the recounts and multiple cases in almost all the courts, it was clear that who is going to be the next president of United States of America.
This election was not as smooth as possible, but it was adamant and clear that it was going to be clouded with a lot of controversy and conspiracies. But what actually happened and the way it happened was beyond the imagination boundaries of anybody that could conceive. Welcome back to the 21st Talks. I am Krutat Patnaik, and in this brand new edition, we are going to take a look at the recently happened US presidential elections and the recent happenings in the United States politically. But without any further wait, first, let's roll in the intro.
On 6 Jan 2021, Donald Trump urged his supporters to stage a protest at the Capitol Hill demanding the recounting of the votes. Later that day, the Capitol Hill was going to host a session of transfer of power. As the day followed, several thousands of Donald Trump supporters stormed into the Capitol Hill, causing a riot as they vandalized the property inside. Fortunately, all the lawmakers were evacuated safely, but these riots led to several people being injured and 4 people dying.
To put this into context, this was a president who had lost his election and was now motivating an armed mob to march to the Congress Capitol and stop the elected representations to stop filing the official nominee Joe Biden as their next president. If this was happening in any other country of the world, the West would have called this a military coup and a failed state. But when this happened in the West, what was it called? And what was the consequence of it? Apparently, nothing.
Trump motivated a mob to kill elected officials of his own country in order to secure an election. But what did he get in return? A second impeachment. Initially, the Republicans were angry over this, but later on started to speak in his favor.
You must be wondering why the Republicans are not standing up against Donald Trump despite of all his lies and propaganda. And there is one answer to this question of 3 words: vote bank politics. If you put into context, even though Donald Trump lost this election, he had a support of 70 million American voters. These are 70 million fanatic people who believe the MAGA dream. These are the people who are divided and radicalized by the entire Trump ideology during this election, and the Republicans are afraid that if they speak out against Donald Trump, then this huge vote bank, the voter base of the Republican Party as we know it today, would not vote for them. Essentially what is happening is the Republicans, in greed of their power, are not checking their own president, is misusing that power.
Despite how much President Donald Trump tried in order to secure the election, but we all know what would happen in the end. President Joe Biden was sworn in as the 46th President of the United States of America. We have spoken about the rocky road, about how Joe Biden came into power and Donald Trump's antics in order to secure the elections. Now let's talk about how President Joe Biden will affect world's politics with special reference to our very own country, India.
President Trump has always had a hard stance against China in terms of the sanctions and the tariffs imposed on Chinese trade to stop the trade malpractices, IP theft, and market dumping done by the Chinese Communist Party. These sanctions and tariff combined with the low rates in the USA helped boost the US industrial sector and increase job opportunities inside of USA, which would have otherwise been outsourced to China. These sanctions and tariffs also gave an opportunity to countries like Taiwan, Vietnam, and India to prove as an alternative to the global supply chain domination by the Chinese government. It also helps US to establish its supremacy in handling matters of military and trade issues with China.
There are many experts across the world who speculate that tariffs and sanctions put on China by President Donald Trump will be lifted under the new Joe Biden administration. This is due to the soft approach of the Democrats towards China, as many of their Silicon Valley campaign donors have vested economic interest in the Chinese manufacturing and Chinese markets. When Joe Biden was the vice president under Obama, they kind of gave a free pass to the Chinese in order to build artificial reefs in the South China Sea by occupying these islands from Malaysia, Indonesia, Brunei, Vietnam, and many other countries. And also there are few experts who speculate the possibility of Joe Biden adapting Donald Trump's hardline anti-China policy, which has been in popularity due to the anti-China sentiment which is in the rise across the world due to the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Now let's scale down to the Himalayas and come to the Indian subcontinent. India has always enjoyed bipartisan support with respect to the foreign policy in the latter half of the 20th century and the early 21st century. Biden administration is not going to change its Indian policy with respect to the new administration. He is committed to side with India in fights against cross-border terrorism which are provoked by Pakistan. USA is also siding with India with its border issues quite recently which have happened with China, because USA knows that India is their best hope to counter China globally.
However, the strategic partnership with India will come at a cost. Joe Biden's administration has been critical of India's abrogation of Article 370 and the implementation of CAA and NRC. In fact, if you go to Joe Biden's website, there's a page dedicated which criticizes and condemns the abrogation of Article 370 and the implementation of CAA and NRC. Kamala Harris, who is the vice president under President Joe Biden, has in fact called for action against India for the abrogation of Article 370 and the implementation of CA-NRC. These 2 points could be a problem and a thorn in the Indo-US relations for the future.
Crossing the Arabian Sea now, let's come to the Middle East, where there has been a huge shift in power. Due to the Trump administration, some of the good things that happened in the entire world was the peace initiative in the Middle East. Quite recently, UAE has established its diplomatic ties with Israel and Qatar, two foes for a long time, now friends with established diplomatic relations. However, in the Middle East, Biden administration is aiming to disrupt the peace which is adopted at this point of time. The 50 F-35 deal Saudi Arabia has been put on hold, and Biden has reaffirmed his commitment to re-establish the Iran nuclear deal. Iran nuclear deal was scrapped by the Trump administration months after coming into power. They scrapped and imposed sanctions on the Iranian government which crippled their economy, but now Biden wants to reaffirm the treaty and establish the ties of the treaty back again and remove the sanctions. What impact would it have in the geopolitics of the entire region, with Iran again having nuclear power under the treaty, is very unknown. But it is clear that US is hoping to put forth even stricter regulation of the Iranian nuclear program.
But on the plus side, the restoration of the Iran nuclear deal could mean that India's ambitions in Central Asia could become a reality in the near future. India has constructed a port in the Iranian city of Chahabar, which gives landlocked countries like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan and Afghanistan access to the sea. This would also allow India to bypass Pakistan while it has to send its goods to Central Asia and Europe. However, India was not able to finance or construct certain infrastructure projects to connect this port to these countries due to sanctions put on Iran. Speaking about Pakistan, Joe Biden's Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin, has hinted that they want to increase military cooperation with Pakistan and revive the military assistance which was suspended by President Donald Trump in his tenure. The revival of military assistance and increasing military cooperation with Pakistan could mean bad news for India, as Pakistan could use USA's military assistance in order to train and fund the terrorists which could be used against India in Jammu and Kashmir.
Let's come back to the USA and talk about the first 10 days of the Biden administration. Hours after coming into the Oval Office, Biden started undoing the global mess that Donald Trump had left him with. Firstly, he removed the Muslim travel ban in the USA. He stopped the construction of the Mexico border wall. He also vowed to rejoin the Paris Climate Change Treaty. And most importantly, USA will now rejoin the World Health Organization, which USA under Trump had left due to allegations of inaction against the COVID pandemic initiated by the China.
The Joe Biden administration is working on a brand new vaccine distribution plan. They have placed an order of 200 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. The Joe Biden administration has also launched a brand new policy called the Buy American policy. This policy is very similar to that of Make in India, launched by Narendra Modi, and the American First policy launched by President Donald Trump in his tenure.
For a change, the entire Biden administration is filled with experts and professionals. Many familiar faces from the presidential runoff for the Democratic nominee, and some old faces from the Trump administration. On a whole, we wish luck to this new Biden administration so that it can bring peace and stability to a chaotic world, unity and prosperity to a divided nation.
Be it President Donald Trump or be it President Joe Biden, these American presidencies will be filled with surprises, uncertainties, and possibilities in the future. Only time will tell how President Joe Biden will fare in his brand new term as President of the United States of America.
That's it for this edition of the 21st Talks. I hope that this brought you up to speed of the recent happenings that have been happening in the United States of America. As always, this is Krutat Patnaik signing off. Until then, keep asking the right questions and keep searching for the right answers.